Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry, and back with me this week is Swan.
Hello.
For the first time in like a month at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody legitimately was asking on a live stream recently where you were and when you were going to return.
I hibernate frequently. No, I've just got busy. It happens.
No, I know that you're extremely busy with work. I was totally understanding. I was understanding, and it was understandable that you had other stuff going on.
Good.
So,
Good.
Yeah, I'm really good at explaining things.
But since I've been gone for so long,
Yes.
I figured I'd come back and basically do a mixture of like a Swan takeover / we're going to be doing some conditioning.
Yeah, because I need to do a little bit more work before the next round of Matt Madness. And Will Henderson is sending me a flight. Swan is giving me a flight right now. I'll probably have Lucy prepare some for me as well in the near future. But this is you guys listening to my training session, I guess.
Yeah, and I can't imitate the humor from Matt Porter, but I can I can imitate the level of questions he asks and some of the whiskey.
That's a good call.
So, yeah, I'm not even going to try, man. I can't.
Well, you didn't come with a sweater vest on today.
No, I didn't start with that.
So.
I'm already taking some points off.
So do you want to go ahead and do Flying Blind?
Yeah, so you're going to be flying blind the entire episode.
Well, that's true.
But we'll do this. I got a Matt Porter themed sample for us to try
In
here.
the style of Beagle Rare?
Somewhat.
Spectacular.
Yes, and I think you'll enjoy it. So you go ahead and pour what you want of that.
Okay. And you said you were going to be basically just kind of drinking on the same thing?
I'm going to be
episode?
just drinking kind of on some Town Branch. I know I don't say that often, but they've got one release that I'm very fond of.
You fiend.
I know. But yeah, I'm going to be drinking on some of that. This one is going to be something I know you have not had before.
But is it when we say that it's Beagle Rare inspired, is it a blend?
No.
Jeez Louise. It smells very Buffalo Tracy.
I'm just really throwing him for a loop here. I love this.
Are you going to ask me questions about it, or should I just kind of get into it?
This one in particular, no, because I could not find enough info on it to make it worth everybody's time. I could ask you how many years old you think it is, and that's about it.
Maybe 10 to 12?
Okay.
But that's just off the nose. I haven't even gotten into actually drinking it yet.
No. We're going to see the wheels turning a little bit in this episode.
Oh, that finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sweet and like berry forward. I like it. I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got any guesses whatsoever?
I know that I said Buffalo Trace-ish. Yeah. I'm still kind of feeling that quite a bit. I mean, it's got that sweetness that Buffalo Trace normally maintains. I don't know if... I don't think it's as old as I thought it was. I think it's at the most probably about 8 years.
Okay.
Part of me wants to say, like, maybe it's like Ancient Age or Ancient Age 10 Star or something, but I know what you have.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you don't know what I have. That's the best part.
Well, that's the thing, too. You've gotten a lot more stuff recently.
Yeah, so this one, remember, this is inspired. So this is Old Charter 12-year-old.
Okay.
So it's an older bottle.
So I was, like, right on the money when I first smelled it.
Yeah, pretty much. But the reason it's inspired is because what's the name of his distillery?
Old Charter, yeah. Yeah, spectacular.
So, yeah, I went ahead and got that. So this is an older sample from a buddy, Reynolds.
Yeah.
So he gave us a sample, and I'm going to take the other half and drink it once I finish this.
So is it pre-Buffalo Trace, or is this one that was made at Buffalo Trace?
That is where I couldn't get enough info to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
we didn't know. It is an older bottle. I don't think they make that anymore, like even remotely close.
No.
So, I mean, it's going to be in the dustier range.
Yeah. That's really good, though.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. 12-year-old Old Charter.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said Old Carter. I realized that's not.
Yeah, that would be a little more available.
See, you said it like just straight up. It's ADHD whiskey inspired.
Yeah.
So I could have just said, "Oh, it's probably Old Charter." Or Old Carter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Matt, you done did me.
I done did you.
This is great, though. Really good Flying Blind. I've never had Old Carter. Charter. Dang it. Too many olds.
This is going to be a struggle today.
I've never had Old Carter. Dang it, I did it again. Old Charter 12-year-old. So. And do you know the proof? What's the proof on it?
I believe it's right at 90.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't drink much
Yeah.
hotter than that.
Again, though, that was one of those things. I think they changed the proof at one point, so I had no clue. I couldn't. That's why I didn't end up in our flight that we're going to do, which, by the way,
call.
we're going to be having 6 different whiskeys.
So, okay, was this the 7th one that got
This
added
was
last
the 7th
minute?
one
Okay.
that got added last minute.
Because you called me and you're like, by the way, I've got a 7th one and I'm really sorry that I've got something else that I added onto it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, dude, I don't care.
Yeah, as soon as I was just like, oh, Perry's got to try this. We have to. We got to do it on the show. Reynolds would love that. And then also, who doesn't want some Old Charter 12-year-old? Man, you're right. You really have to think about that. You have really got to think about that.
Absolutely. So a couple of things before we get into what we've been drinking recently, and then we'll get to samples and everything.
Yeah.
If you're new to the show, thank you so much for being here. Please go ahead and subscribe. Leave a review as well, rating and review. If it's 5 stars, really typically if it's about anything, we'll read it out here on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got an updated review that I get to read out on the show as well, which I'm really excited for. All of our apparel and merchandise, aside from our and skateboards, is at bourbonshop.threadless.com, except for our Glencairns, which are available at whiskeyambitions.com. Thanks, Chad and Sarah, as always. And you can become a patron of the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. Oh, also, trying to plug the YouTube more. So I don't know if we're going to release the whole episode on video, but we are recording the episode on video for the first time.
Yeah, we are.
And so it could wind up being a portion of it gets edited and dropped on YouTube. It could just be the whole dang thing. So I'm really not sure yet what my plan is with that. But you can find that at youtube.com/thisismybourbonpodcast. I used to put up episodes, just the audio from the show over there. Podbean, which is who I host everything through, kind of did away with that recently, so I haven't had that so much. So this is kind of a good way for me to build a bridge between both platforms.
Yeah.
In some ways.
And I'm excited because I cannot tell you how many times in this show I've made like hand gestures or like I'll be like that bottle and I'll point at something and
we've had to clarify.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's an audio medium. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And definitely still listen on, every podcasting
Yeah,
app
please.
that's convenient for you, but
Yeah.
Eventually we're going to probably have this on YouTube to watch as well.
Yeah, for sure. And my goal is to have this up the same day that the main audio feed goes up as well.
Yeah.
So people can kind of pick and choose whatever it is they want to use, and I'll still kind of collate everything based on numbers to look at, how I think things are going. But the audio feed is, where we kind of rest our laurels on.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. But regardless, you can find in some capacity a video for this week's episode on YouTube.
Yeah.
So go and check that out. And also thank you everybody who's a subscriber on YouTube. We're like less than 200 away from 1,000 subs, which is huge.
Yeah, that's great.
That's crazy. So if you have not yet, please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think at some point what we'll wind up doing while we're filming is cutting out like reviews so that we have a semi-produced episode up on there as well for people to go and watch. But I also go live every Thursday night on YouTube, which is a lot of fun. And we're going to have Dave Jennings this week, actually, from Rarebird 101.
What a man.
Really, really excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's got a new book that he's working on as well. So, more about that on Thursday. Swan, what you been drinking recently?
Bourbon. Bourbon and bourbon only. I've had nothing else.
You sound like you're trying to convince not only yourself but me that that's what you've been drinking recently.
Mostly the latter. Yeah.
All right, what scotch have you been drinking?
No, actually, I have been having more bourbon. Actually, more rye recently, to be honest with you. I've had a lot of MGP products, just kind of really playing around with their portfolio that they've got of their ryes and bourbons. And I picked up a bottle of just the regular Jack Daniels Rye. It's actually pretty good. I was surprised. I remember them announcing that a couple years ago and thinking, yeah, that's what they need. But no, it's actually really good. Yeah, and then Tennessee Tasters.
Tennessee Tasters, man.
Yeah.
That was a little thing that you brought back from Knoxville. Also, I don't know if that actually made it onto the video. So there it is. Can you see it?
The Tennessee Taster stuff is so nice. If you ever drop through Tennessee in particular, it may make it outside. I'm just not sure what their distribution's like on that.
I've not really seen it in Kentucky very much.
Me neither. But they just have little 375s of experimental Jack Daniels, and they are delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if nothing else, interesting.
I mean, I don't think that the single barrel proof rye would exist without the Tennessee Tasters.
No, I think it was definitely people saying, "Hey, this is good. Let me buy a whole bottle.
Give me more.
Yeah,
give me more of that.
Give me more of that, and up the proof and make it a single barrel."
Well, I mean, it's about the same proof as what the single barrel is.
It is, yeah. It's just that something about that jump to single barrel for whatever reason. It's not even. It doesn't drink even as hot as the 127.6.
Here's the single barrel.
Yeah, and it's got like a nice kind of fruity undertone that you don't get so much on the taster. So it's just interesting. We
need to do an episode where we compare the two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight up, because I mean, it's worth it to do it, and I don't really know of anybody else that's done that yet.
I haven't looked, so I have no idea. I have no clue.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, pull my leg, man. With two fantastic ryes, I'm totally fine with that.
Also, I'm really sorry that I laughed. Because people are upset that we giggle too much.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't have that.
No.
4 stars. I'm taking away one every time I laugh.
3.
Ooh, harsh.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's fair. What have you been drinking recently, Perry?
Oh, boy. Well, to be honest, I've kind of slowed down a little bit recently. So, because I'm trying to lose weight for the summer. Not necessarily to, be totally summer beach bod, but at least I don't want to feel bad about myself when I take my shirt off.
That's fair.
You know what's funny? Ever since I recorded that episode with Adam from Rabbit Hole, I've just been in a Rabbit Hole mood.
Rabbit Hole is good, and I've seen more and more people do tastings with the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
And then come in and want their products. And it really goes to show that if a distillery is wanting their stuff to sell, tasting it is the best way to do it. I mean, it is just...
Yeah.
There's no other way that it sells like that. I mean, it's really, you taste a bottle and people will buy it. It is that simple.
Well, and that's very true. And I just think that it's severely underrated at the moment as well.
Yes. I think people see the price tag and the way the bottle looks and they think that's more than I'm wanting to get into right now. Price-wise, and just it looks fancy, and like it's just not quite what they want to pay for. Again, though, they taste it, and it's like this is 100% worth.
Yeah,
what they're asking.
The Derringer, I think, is the only one that really I could kind of second guess myself on purchasing. I know that everything's about 3 to 5 years old.
Yeah.
At the moment, and I know that they're kind of pushing a little bit higher in age at the moment, but I think it's worth it. I'm excited for everybody who's coming to the meetup in a couple of weeks as well to get to try.
Yeah,
so the entire lineup.
Yeah, and just like a peek behind the curtains. I mean, working in a liquor store, usually a lot of the bottles over $1,000 usually just sit there. They are museum pieces for the most part.
Yeah.
I didn't even put this most recent Mizunara one on the shelf. Somebody came in and asked for it. And I was like, actually, yeah, I've got that in the back. And he bought it.
And he only had the one bottle, right?
One bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. went fast.
Look,
I mean, there's no other bottle that sells like that.
let's just lay our cards on the table. Mm-hmm. It's $1,200,
It is $1,200.
but it is really good whiskey.
Yes. Yes.
I can't deny it. I mean, it's delicious. It's just very hard to justify that price point.
It is, yeah. But I mean, the only two bottles I've seen kind of do that at that price point are Kentucky Owl Dry State and that.
And this is not Dry State behind us. That's just batch 10.
It's just, yeah, a Kentucky Owl product.
Just.
Yeah.
like,
Compared to Dry State, I feel like that's probably that's a fair.
Yeah, it's a fair assertion. Anyway, so should we get into this?
Oh, we're gonna get into this.
All right.
Just to explain it real quick, we've got 6 samples. They're all gonna be blind. I'm gonna ask about 3 questions for each of them. We're not going to do a point system. This is more just for practice. So Matt, if you watch any of his stuff with this most recent thing he is doing a point system. The biggest point value being if you can guess the whiskey outright. So we'll be asking that question for sure, and then just kind of 3 blanket questions for each one.
Are there any of these that you think I could get?
There's one in particular I think you may guess outright.
Okay, cool. I'm not trying to, give myself a a better chance in the competition or anything, but I am curious because I was able to nail Old Forester 1910 on the head. So
I think
which any day of the week, if you had told me that would have been something I could have guessed, I would have been like, "You're crazy."
Yeah,
that's the last thing that I probably would have considered me being able to get right.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, there's one in particular I feel like you may be able to guess.
Okay.
The other ones, I intentionally tried to make it to where it would be difficult to guess.
Gotcha.
So we'll go ahead and start with A.
Let's do it.
And all of these on the bottles, since we're doing some video now, they're just gonna say A on them. There's no other info. And of course, I've got like 15 different types of sample bottles at home, and I had to grab all different ones just to add to it.
Sorry for me moving around the video a little bit here, but apparently a good portion of it was off screen. So
nice. Maybe this is a good just test run. Maybe we'll do it next time.
Yeah, we'll see. Something. Yeah, see, we can see your legs right now.
Cool. I have those.
Little scrawny swan legs.
Yeah.
Scrawny swan legs sounds like a name that you would give somebody in high school.
It sounds like somebody that decided to skip leg day for years.
It's a real mean nickname, I think. All right. Sample A. Should I just go ahead and pour everything out?
For the most part, I gave you about as much as you could probably drink of each one. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I'm nervous.
You should be, man. Usually it's like I get to do flying blind and you test me. But no, I'm just getting all those back all at once.
All right. I've already broken one of the rules.
What's that?
I wasn't supposed to even smell it before you told me what the question would be.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
well, the first one is
I already messed up. Sorry.
The first one is going to be what's the proof?
Okay. You want me to do that off the nose?
Yeah, so I'm literally just going to ask you 3 questions about each one. We're not going to structure it the way that Matt does.
That's fine.
I just want you to try to guess a few. And some of these questions are going to intentionally be there to throw you because he does not ask the same 3 questions about every single whiskey.
Yeah. I think I'm going a little high with my first inclination. I'm going to say 110.
Okay. And I'll do it all at once for the
that's
answers.
fine. That's totally fine.
And then the next one's going to be country of origin.
Country of origin.
Yeah. Again, intentionally, we're trying to throw you off just a little. So the questions are going to be very vague.
Canada.
Okay. All right, and the last one, do you have any guess on the distillery?
I don't know Canadian distilleries that well. Mm-hmm. So I don't think so. But it does really read like a Canadian rye to me, or Canadian whiskey.
All right.
But I could be way, way off.
Do you have any? All right. And then lastly, do you have any guess on the whiskey?
I'm just going to say Canadian rye.
Canadian rye.
I mean, I
Okay.
don't know what else to what else to say at that point.
So this one is 94 proof.
Okay. Yeah, it reads really hot though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is from actually from Kentucky, so it's from the United
Is this
States.
Elijah Craig?
No,
Okay.
no, you'll feel better in a second.
Okay.
And this is from the Medley Distillery, the Charles Medley Distillery. So this is actually
Okay.
the Wathen Single Barrel Old Label.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I one you've not had quite in quite a good time.
I really have not had this very often.
Yeah, and a lot of theirs do read a little hot. Like Fred gave us a sample
Yeah.
of one, and it reads very hot, but the flavor profile is usually pretty good.
I don't mind it at all.
It's fine.
But it's just very off profile from most bourbons.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I always got a lot of leather on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Leather and like applesauce.
Yeah.
Seriously though, I
Yeah.
mean what's on there. So
That's fair.
a little bit of rose, kind of some like honeysuckle as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sweet. I mean, aside from that dark leather, it is very, very sweet.
I could see why you would pull Canadian into this because with
Yeah.
most Canadian whiskeys, there is a pretty sweet concept behind them. So
Yeah. Is it
I get
high
it.
high malt, high rye?
that I don't know. I can look that up, but I mean it's
And I'm really only asking because I'm curious.
yeah.
And this is something that I need to, at the very least, associate with products.
Yeah, absolutely. We're training right now, so
Yeah.
all right. So this is actually 10% rye, 13% malt.
I believe that. Yeah. I fully believe that it's high malt.
Yeah. Now the thing that is weird about this and why I couldn't ask about the age is when you look up the age on this, it says it's anywhere between 4 to 8 to 9 years.
What?
Yeah, that is the wording they use.
Doesn't make any sense.
And I think honestly, for them, it's more important to pull a good single barrel than rely so much on the age, which I can back. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So, but definitely throwing you a little bit with the first one.
Should I just let you pour everything for me?
Sure.
Okay.
If I pour too much, just
I don't
make
know
an
what's
infinity
happening
bottle.
anymore. Yeah. Right. We're just flying by the seat of our pants anymore.
Pants? No, just kidding.
Yeah, you're in shorts. Everybody can see your knees.
My knees.
Well, it's really just your thighs at the moment.
That's fair. My short shorts. Everyone's gonna know. All right.
Sample B.
So after being kind of rude to you on the first one, I'll be a little nicer with this one. This is the one I thought you were going to be able to guess. That's not helpful. I'm sorry.
It is very familiar, though. Mm-hmm. I will say. Boy, this is Wild Turkey 101. The second time that you've blinded me with a Turkey 101.
I can assure you it is not Wild Turkey 101. All right, so the first question is going to be, what is the proof? We're going there yet again.
Sorry we don't have the music to play as well.
Dun, 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 dun. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do Jeopardy the entire time.
Well, I was thinking like the Shelf Turds songs
Yeah.
where he imitated Chad, which was just spectacular.
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic.
Man, that was so good. Ugh. I don't think it's particularly high. I'm going to say 100 because I
Okay.
don't think it's higher than that. But I also could see it maybe being within like the 90 proof range.
That's fair. All right, do you have a guess on how old it is?
The problem with some of these is that it's easy to just go 10 years old. Mm-hmm. Because then you can pretty much play the field
Yeah.
one way or another. I think I'm going to lean a little bit lower, though. I'm going to go with 8.
All right, that's fair. And then the last question, what distillery do you think this is from? Oh, he's making faces.
Hold on.
See,
Oh, crap.
you had one of those moments where somebody gets a smell and they're just like, and they dial in on like a moment in time where they've had or smelled that thing. I could tell it just really hits you.
I think it's a Heaven Hill product.
All right. Okay. Heaven Hill. All right. So what would you guess this product would be?
Why do I feel more pressure right now than I did during the actual Matt Madness?
Well, so no one's tasting but you. So,
That's very true.
yeah.
That's very
so
true.
that's probably it.
There's this brown sugar note in there that I am really getting thrown off by. So, part of me wants to say that it's Woodford Double Oaked. It's not. Yeah,
No,
okay.
no, it's just not. Perry, I can see through the Glencairn. It's not that dark.
Well, okay. That is totally fair. Just to purely have a guess, Heaven Hill 6-year bottled and bond.
Nice. Okay, so it's not that, but it's closer than I thought you were gonna get. So
Okay.
it's this is actually Baby Saz.
Really?
This is Sazerac Rye. Yeah,
That doesn't drink like Sazerac Rye at all.
I know. That's the thing.
Freaking stupid low rye rise. I can kind of see that the more that I kind of poke around and notice the wintergreen.
Yeah.
on
So the weird thing about Sazerac Rye, and not a whole lot of people drink it straight. For the most part, they have it in a cocktail like the Sazerac.
I haven't had it. I haven't had it neat in a long time.
Yeah.
But
It's just not everybody's go-to neat sipper,
yeah.
unless you're Iverson.
So 8 years, I think would probably get me a good. I think I would probably be on the right track as far as points.
Yeah. Because it's usually right about 6 years for them.
Yeah, 100 proof. That could really go one of two ways in my favor.
I think the 100 proof, you were kind of picking the rye spice out a little bit.
Yeah,
you were
I think
going,
so,
it's
too.
a little spicier than it actually is.
I think so as well. But, that's another one that could very well get thrown at me. Or a low rye could get thrown at me and throw me way, way off.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the reason that I thought the Old Forester rye was a single malt, because of the high malt content in it.
Yeah.
So I just got to be discerning, I guess.
Yeah, just go with your gut. I will say, and I'm gonna give you some critique. We're coaching right now. You are thinking about it so much.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking a little too hard.
Yeah, just go with your gut a little bit, because I think you're doing that thing when I take a test and I'm like, I don't know the answer. It's like, well, let's eliminate some of the dumb questions, the dumb answers. Go through and you're just really second guessing everything. But it's all good.
All right. Sample C?
Sample C. Teased Perry a little bit. This is one of the George T. Stagg sample bottles.
Yeah, he's gone ahead and given me Stag Jr. for this.
Here, we'll keep it a little lighter. I got a little extra left for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
If it's good or if it's something I would like or whatever. I got to keep it vague. All right. I'm really liking the proof question, so I'm going to go for it a third time.
Okay. Oh, man. Right in the middle, there's like a barbecue note that is throwing me off. Have we had this recently?
Kind of.
Somewhat. Yeah,
It's been a little bit, but yeah.
that's fair.
We share most of our bottles.
We
so.
really do. Anything that either of us gets, it's like, yeah, you gotta try this as well. I think now it's starting to read higher proof for me. I hate to go for it again, but I'm going to have to go 100 proof.
Okay.
Again.
Bold. I like that.
Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Let's see how it plays out. I should have worn that sweater vest. All right. Question 2. Is it finished?
Yes. Yes, it is finished.
Cotton's very bold today. I like this. All right.
You told me to go with my gut, with my first impression.
Absolutely.
So it's my first impression, Rose. We're on The Bachelor.
Yeah. And then the third question, and I will take 2 answers for this one. So either one of them will work. What is the distillery?
Wait. You're going to accept what?
Yep, just roll with it. I'm going to take 2 answers for
I think you kind of threw me off there a little bit with that.
Listen, we're doing training, man. I gotta throw it around just a little bit, make it unique. I think Matt's gonna get a kick out of the fact that we're just putting you to the test just publicly over and over again.
Am I working too hard at this?
I mean, maybe, but it's fun. You know,
I think I am. Yeah. There's the cereal note. Crap. Is this Old Fortune 1910 again?
No.
Yeah, I know. No. Part of me thinks that this might be like a sherry cask finished Scotch.
Okay.
Non-peated. It's a little malty. I don't know if it's single malt territory. Distillery is really throwing me off on this one. I've got to throw something out there. Wild turkey.
Okay.
Because I could see this being the Oloroso finished turkey.
I mean, that's fair. That stuff's great.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing by that you enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's really good.
Awesome. So do you want to go ahead and guess what the label would be?
Just for the sake of having something on the record, I'll say Revival.
Okay. Awesome. This is actually going to be 101 proof. So
I was really close. Okay. All right.
Very close.
Yeah.
Very close. Starting to line up a little bit with your answer. Is it finished? It is not finished.
It tastes finished.
Yeah.
But is this Wild Turkey 101?
It is not. This is actually Nulu Batch 2.
And this is not a finished Nulu product.
This is not a finished Nulu product. This is a blend of MGP, which is why I was going to take 2, MGP or Nulu.
Okay. All right.
From 4 to 6 years old.
Okay.
So this was in our high rye flight and did not do well, but once it opened up, it does have a lot of very redeeming notes that I think you picked out and liked a little more.
It also doesn't read like MGP at all.
It doesn't. So I will say Chase at Nulu is good about picking out barrels that do not read like a 21% rye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I put that in that flight initially, I think we are both a little more fond of rye. And Chase, not that he doesn't like rye, he just tends to pick things that I think are more easygoing in the rye department.
Sure.
And so it doesn't shine through quite like the other ones did. So it didn't fare well in that flight, but on its own.
No, I like it on its own.
Fantastic.
I don't have any problem with it at all. So I'm not surprised that I didn't get that one right. Like truth be told.
It's a newer distillery.
Yeah.
Or blender.
Yeah, but I knew from the nose that I had it before. Mm-hmm. I mean that was very evident for me. So,
but it's not too far off. You got a high rye recipe. The finishing was really the only thing, and the age discrepancy was a little bit there. But hey, not bad.
Well,
that was 2 out of the 4 questions. So
that could get me the win.
That
Those squeakers are what I've been able to rely on so far. So, also, I really hope that Matt sees or listens to this,
absolutely.
and we've completely thrown off whatever his plan was for for
he's
for round
he's looking
two.
at his sample, just going, "Oh no, I've got to do it. I've got to start over."
He asks, like, I haven't even gotten them in the mail, but he asks, like, me and Clifton to send them back
Yeah.
in the mail so he can redo them. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hello.
This one is going to get some different questions as well.
Yeah. I believe it.
Just kidding. They're the same.
What famous celebrity chose this as their everyday sipper
Yeah.
until they went clean and sober in 1990? And what's the name of their first dog?
Yeah.
Please don't do this.
It's got to be like 40 points right there. I mean, Matt, put these questions in, man.
I've got an entire biography. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Written out for whoever this person is. It's John Wayne. All right, so
the first question is, how old do you think this is?
it's my thinking noise, by the way. Whenever I took tests, that's the sound that I would make.
I have to imagine the ACT was just an interesting time for you.
I got a 5 on the AP Lang test.
I thought you were about to say you got a 5 on the ACT. I was like, whoa. Woo.
That's the point they give you for getting your name right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a baseline, and you hit it, buddy.
A 5 on the ACT. That's incredible. I did pretty well on the... no, was it SAT or ACT that I did well on?
I did not do well on either.
What's the one that's in, like, double digits? Is that
That's
ACT?
SAT.
Oh, it's SAT.
Yeah, that one goes to like 1,500 or something. And then
No, that's
ACT goes to 36.
Yeah, I did better on the ACT than I did the SAT. Like, I almost got a perfect score on the English portion in the ACT.
I tested remedial. I'm glad you're here to help me out. I wish that was a joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I'm only laughing because I know you and I love you, and I just know that that's very much what happened.
Yep. Yep. I went
Sorry.
back to flashcards and
I'm
the word
sorry.
"the"
I'm
on
so
those
sorry.
flashcards.
I'm so sorry,
fast.
buddy. I'm so sorry. CAT. Dragon.
Can't? Decanter.
You
Ha-ha.
can't spell can't without car.
Yeah.
All right. What was
right.
this question? Age?
Age, yes.
12 years.
Okay. Just going for a sip. I'm sorry, I was just letting you think. All right.
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay.
You were taking a sip. I thought maybe you were like, maybe you want to change my answer or something. I don't know.
I'm going to stick with 12 on this one.
All right. Finished or not?
Yes. Finished.
Okay. Do you want to go for the bonus point of that we're not counting of what it's finished in?
It's pretty dry. Mm-hmm. I would say my initial thought is sherry.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with sherry finished, yeah.
All right. And then question 3. What is the distillery?
I don't know.
And there's why I didn't do well on the ACT. Option E. I don't know.
Oh, no. That's worth half a point just because you're honest.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice if in life they just gave you bonus points for honesty?
You know, it might work on a test that the teacher was grading, but when you put it on a Scantron, it just things got no mercy.
You've actually hand gone in and created your own column.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
Absolutely. No
I just
mercy
feel
on
bad
the
about
Scantrons.
myself, and I hope you have some sympathy.
Yep.
Finished. I don't think that it's outside of the states. I have a great vibrato. I don't know if anybody knew that.
We're learning today.
We're learning lots of things today. Crap. Barton.
Okay. This one's really hard to keep a straight face on, by the way.
What, you just laughing the entire time?
Yeah. Do you have any guess on the label?
I mean, based on everything I've said, maybe it's Black Ridge, maybe 1792 Port. I don't know.
All right.
I forget what all you have in your collection, so this is really
That's
this is the part where I just totally lose it.
yeah. All right. So this is age statement 12 to 15 years old. It is not written on the front, but they have a thing on the back, a spell on the back, where they say it is 12 to 15.
So I got that right.
You got that one correct.
Sweet.
This is finished, and for the bonus point, it is finished in Oloroso Sherry.
What up?
Yep.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yep.
This would have been the one that saved me.
Yeah, and the distillery is Wild Turkey. This is the Wild Turkey Revival.
Daggone it!
Hence why it's hard to keep a straight face.
Crap.
So close.
So close, man. That was off by one sample or two samples?
One.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I was really trying to place that as Wild Turkey. Really, really trying.
Yeah, and it's a little off standard for a Wild
It
Turkey
is.
because it's just not. They don't do much finishing. They just don't.
Freaking Revival.
Yeah. I love the Revival.
I do too,
It's
man.
so sad to see so many people say that they're like, it's kind of a letdown for, this release. Master's Keep, it's not my favorite. Send it to me. I love it.
I just remembered I've got one coming in from overseas the next time that Lucy's uncle is in town. Because he found it at like a duty-free shop.
Yeah.
And I've never actually owned one.
That was my first big splurge bottle.
Yeah.
I as soon as I got it, I got a sample to my buddy Omar, and we sipped on it, and it was just fantastic.
Omar.
Yeah, good old Omar. We swapped samples of that Wild Turkey, man. It was so good. I think we actually opened it in the parking lot. Yeah.
Did you give me my next sample?
I'm working on it right now.
That's your glass.
Oh, it's over here. Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
We're professionals.
We know what we're doing.
Something like that. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, what?
Uh-oh.
All right, what's the proof, Perry?
It's like, just for a good middle ground, I'm going to say 95.
Okay. Interesting. Is this one finished?
No.
Okay.
Just, no. You're not happy with my answer.
I gotta confirm. It might be finished.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
No, that is definitely finished. Yeah,
definitely
the
finished.
nose threw me off. Yep, that's finished.
Awesome. And then country of origin.
Scotland.
Scotland. We don't drink scotch. This is my bourbon
This
podcast.
is a non-peated scotch.
Okay.
You have did me.
Gotcha. Have any have any guesses on the label?
No, honestly. Maybe Glenmorangie?
Not even close.
Okay, cool.
No, this is actually Aberlour Abundna. I'm probably saying that wrong.
So it is a scotch.
It is a scotch.
Yeah.
But the big thing to point out here is the proof is actually 119.6.
Does not read or drink like that at all.
Dangerous, I know.
Wow.
Yeah. So this one is finished as well. So it's going to be finished in Oloroso sherry. But I'm actually saying that wrong. It's not finished. In Scotch, this
It's just aged.
This is matured.
Yeah.
So it is just flat out aged in Oloroso. And it is from Scotland.
Yep.
So you got a lot of them, man.
That actually could be another one to save my bacon.
Yeah, absolutely. And
That's delicious, by the way.
it is very
Might
good.
I say?
Yeah.
I know that people say peated Scotch is where it's really at. I like a non-peated Scotch.
That is totally fine.
I think that's kind of where I kind of. How many times can I say "kind of" in a sentence?
It's like 3.
At least.
Yeah. No, I mean, Don Nishida's pointed out multiple times. He said usually in his Scotch tasting groups, a lot of the female participants they lean a little more peated Scotch, and a lot of the guys that are bourbon heavy tend to like the sherry bombs, and that's exactly what this one is. So I mean, it's not always going to be that way, obviously.
Sure.
I don't see Nick Offerman going, you know what, I'd love to have a sherry finished, whatever. I mean, it's not his thing. But
I've got to try that Guinness finished.
I've got one now.
What?
Yep.
I almost knocked my glass of whiskey over.
We can make that happen.
Okay.
Yep.
Could you? We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I've got an idea. Anyway.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've got one more, but just to point out, just the way that Matt has done this, because I'm in on this practice session as well.
Yeah.
He seems to be picking, even if it does lean like, at least in my head, if it leans outside of bourbon, he's picking bourbon drinkers versions of things.
Mm-hmm.
So that was how some of this was also curated.
Yeah. Good idea.
All right.
How do you feel about there being 2 swans in the room at the moment?
I'm gonna beat him up. We're gonna fight.
There can be only one.
You're wearing a
Swan.
bunny suit, man. I can take you.
Okay.
Bourbon.
Are you trying to?
I don't know what
You
you're talking
trying to
about.
fake me out here?
You want more? Here, have some more.
Yeah, I may as well. That is really light in color.
Okay. I don't know why I'm questioning your ability to see
I
colors.
don't, yeah, I'm not colorblind.
Yeah. We don't know. It
I'm
wasn't
just
on the
nose
ACT,
blind.
Perry. All right. So this is sample F.
He's gone nose blind.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go kind of the same questions we've had, just to kind of keep it consistent. So question 1, what is the proof?
Oh.
O is right. It does have one of those in there. It's actually got 2. It's proof with 2 O's.
110.
110. All right. Second.
And I'm trying to go ballpark with these, you know.
Well, you don't want to I guess you could, if you wanted to. You could be the Wheel of Fortune guy and be like, it's 110.1,
Closest without going over.
Yeah. Question 2, what is the country of origin?
I know that you were trying to play with me at the start of this one.
Just
and
a little
say,
bit.
oh, bourbon. I actually think that this is an American whiskey.
Okay. That's fair.
And truly, it might actually be bourbon. I'm thinking about it.
All right. So you're going to go with American whiskey?
Yeah, am I not supposed to?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with American whiskey.
Okay, cool. And then what is the age? I think out of everything we've had, except for the old charter at the beginning, this is the only one that's actually age stated.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to go with 12 years again.
Okay. Do you like it?
I actually do.
Good deal.
Quite a bit.
All right. So the proof on this one is 115.2. So
That's exactly what I was hoping with.
ballpark.
Yeah. By going with the 110.
The country of origin is actually Ireland. Yeah.
Is this Redbreast 12?
This is Redbreast 12 cask strength.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Yeah, Yeah. So
That doesn't drink like Irish whiskey at all.
No. So this is 12 years old for the last question, and yeah, that's the label. So.
Whoa, dude. Now I'm kind of getting a little bit of the Irish whiskey on it.
Yeah,
but
so with this, you're gonna get those like classic, like little bit of butter cookies
Uh-huh.
with almost like a little bit of orange peel in it, and they like to use the wording apricot quite a bit on the back of the box. So you're gonna pull a little bit of that.
I can get on board with that all day long. Man, that is. Was it yesterday that you sent us a message in the group chat and you're like, I'm about to find out what the hype is all about, and then you're just like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it now. This
Yeah.
is delicious. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So just to kind of go over what we had here, you had Wathen Single Barrel, Baby Saz, Nulu Batch 2, Wild Turkey Revival, Avalor Abundna. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I've got to go watch some Whiskey Tribe videos. And Redbreast Cast Strength, the 12 year. So, a good little lineup. The last two are not bourbons, so I did pick ones that were a little bit more of a bourbon drinker's whiskey that wasn't bourbon. So, it's good stuff.
That is delicious. Mm-hmm. Would you be mad at me if I said that I passed one of these up a couple weeks ago?
Absolutely. I know where one's for sale, though, right now, if you need it.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really mad. It's good that I didn't buy a bottle of this. No.
And I believe, I'd have to look at it again. I think this is a mixture of ex-bourbon cask and ex-sherry casks for the way that they did it. And then the classic triple pot distilling.
Yeah.
Or triple distilling. But it's just, so it is going to bring some more of those bourbon qualities back into it. But I wanted to trip you up with switching between a higher age Oloroso sherry bourbon than going to a higher age, non-age stated Oloroso sherry scotch to this.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was the perfect lineup.
Yeah. And
dang it, man. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. But I don't know what Matt's going to pick. That's obviously why we're doing all this.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get thrown for an absolute loop now because he's going to see this and go, he's too prepared.
Yeah, that or he's just going to go and get like every release of Jack Daniels because they've got like all sorts of them and just put.
If he does another lineup for me that is one brand, I'm going to lose my mind. Because that means that everything, I know that everything that he gives us is intentional, but like just the same brand.
It's just going to be Bardstown Fusion Series 1 through 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, that was great. Thank you so much for that, buddy.
Absolutely. I think you did honestly better on the things that weren't bourbon.
I think so too.
So
surprisingly, I don't know how that happened.
I think you being concerned over grabbing, getting products that are not bourbon and not being able to figure them out, points wise, you're going to do fine.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you're not going to get with that is just the familiarity with labels. So you're not going to be able to say this is, Avalor or this is Glenmorangie because you've got some in that category, but not like bourbon. No,
not at all. Anyway. Well, what about tips and bits?
Tips and bits. Oh, yeah. No, I have a great one. I got sucked into some really crappy reality TV. You do from time to time.
Oh, no.
The Circle. Have you seen that on Netflix?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not entirely sure I know what that is.
So the whole concept behind this show is, and it's not to go in and like flirt. It's literally just to go in and be a favorable person. So like just like who you can form alliances with and who you can do like be friends with and that kind of thing. But the weirdest thing about it is you do it all from behind a screen. And so you basically just imagine like texting back and forth.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so you can be yourself, you can be someone else, you can do it's super strange. And I hate it because you listen to the concept I just explained and you're like, why would I ever want to watch that? And then you watch 15 minutes of the first episode and suddenly you finish the season. It's so stupid. It is just a delightfully stupid time. It makes you feel better about yourself. I will say that.
That's good because I feel pretty bad about myself. Just kidding. Just kidding. We just restarted Psych.
Psych is so good, man.
And the reason, there were a couple of reasons. The first one was that Lucy said we should rewatch Psych.
Well, that's a great reason to
It's
start
just
back.
it's just a great reason for it. But also they announced that the third movie is going to be out, I think this year. So this or next year.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I should rewatch Just to Find the Pineapples.
You know what's funny? It's easier than you think it is.
Oh, it's so heavy-handed on
The
some
first
of them.
episode is just Sean going, "Do you want me to cut this up for the road?" And he just pulls it out of the fridge.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've come to the realization recently that it is within my top 3 favorite shows of all time.
It is so good. I will say it is one of those shows I get a bit of fatigue if I watch it back to back. I get that on Psych
That's fair.
and Always Sunny.
Always Sunny for sure
Yeah.
for me.
Not to the same degree that I do on Always Sunny, but
Yeah, it's and I love that show to death.
yeah,
it's one of my favorites.
It did not date well.
No, no,
No.
especially. I mean, the first episode is called "The Gang Gets Racist."
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's meant to be edgy comedy, but like it went from like edgy, like I can kind of, I probably shouldn't laugh at this, but I'm laughing at this,
edgy-
to like, oh no,
it toes the line between edgy and cringy.
and it does it well.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to feel bad about what I'm watching.
Yeah, and there's sometimes too. It's like I gotta finish this episode so I can get the whole story. But man, I can't keep looking at what I'm looking at. Like it is a lot.
Exactly. Well, I think that does it for this week's episode. Man, that was a really good little training session.
Absolutely. Yeah,
For
you're gonna
me.
get some more from some other people as well. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely,
gonna be nice.
absolutely. Swan, where can people find you on social media?
I'm at Swan TBF on Instagram, and that is it. I suck at Insta to pretty much everything else.
And I am at PRitter1492 on all social media channels. You can find the show itself at My Bourbon Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on the Apple Podcast app, or if you don't feel so strongly about what it is that we do here, you can leave us a review that is less than 5 stars. Much like, and this is an update from an earlier review, Jeffy2001 gave us 3 stars and said the Giggle Fest had to end. He said the content is great, really like the guys and their opinions, but the constant giggling and laughing is so distracting. Ever sentence ends in an exaggerated loud belly laugh. It's just way too much silly giggles.
I've not laughed at all this episode.
I haven't either. I haven't laughed
Nope.
once. I hate bourbon. I hate the fact that we have to do this. We are contractually obligated
This is a chore.
to have to do
That's
this.
a chore.
I feel bad about myself.
That's important.
Just
that's what makes a
always.
good episode.
Not even because of the podcast. I just hate myself. I look at myself in the mirror every day and I say, "Why are you the way that you are?
Yeah.
How dare you?"
I mentioned that to my therapist at times. She loves that. But,
Do you tip your therapist?
no.
I have to. When I signed all those papers.
All right, that bit's over. It's dead.
I'm sorry that we have fun and we enjoy each other's company when we record the podcast, but that's just, I know that we laugh. I know that we have a good time, but dang it. I can't do anything else.
It's part of it.
It is part of it. But I do appreciate you listening, Jeffy, or Jeffrey, or whatever the heck your name is. But regardless, we have a good time. Anyway, you can find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. You can send us a voicemail for our infrequent barrel ring segment to 859-428-8253. We'll listen to it on air and respond accordingly. You can send all of your questions, comments, concerns to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. That's a really good way to get in contact with us, of course, as well as social media. We're always happy to correspond.
I think that's all we got, man.
That's most of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Patreon.
Patreon.
But our glasses also are at whiskeyambitions.com.
Yeah, and after talking with Chad, those are getting a little low. So
Good.
I don't
Good.
think we're going to continue to restock the same glasses all the time. I think we kind of want to do a little bit of different.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have a different design up for the next round of Glencairns. But if you want this first round of This Is My Bourbon Drinking Glass Glencairns, better get on it. There's not too many left.
Yeah.
And then patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support the show. For as little as $5 a month, you can get bonus content, which includes the pregame chats. And soon, we've got Last Call coming back.
Yes.
Soon. Not this week.
No.
But we are approaching the point to where I'm ready to bring that back.
Yeah.
'Cause-
It's a lot of editing on your part, but it is a good deal of fun.
But if I do it right, and if I play my cards right as well, I enjoy every second of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're always so proud to be like, listen to what I did.
Oh, that ZZ Top bit is still one of my favorite things in the entire world. Anyway, all right, that does it for this week's episode. We will see you next week. I don't know what's happening next week.
I never know what's happening this week.
Next week might actually be the episode that we bring Chad from My Daily Bourbon on.
Yeah, we've been trying to get him on, so we'll see if we can.
I forgot to mention, yeah, he was supposed to be on this week's episode, but he had some other issues going on.
It's fine.
So.
We threw something together.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think we've got some very unique stuff that he can bring to
Yeah,
review,
for sure.
Or we can just do a Jack Daniels comparison. So we'll
I'm
definitely
okay
figure
with
it out.
that too. Yeah. Anyway, that does it for this week's episode. We'll see you all next week. But until then, I'm Perry,
And I'm Swan.
and this is My Bourbon Podcast.